Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we have a 9-9 portal, and this is an important energy update I want to share with you. So there's something you need to be aware of today. So first of all, we have so many powerful energy shifts in September, and we had so many of them already, and I can see every single day when people are writing me and I see in the comments, people are moving through shifts, and it's something we can't ignore right now. We can't ignore all the transformations that are happening right now. Firstly, on that intuitive level, like our intuition is rising, we feel more aligned with ourselves. We may experience an increased sensation of certain inner tension, certain emotional wounds which we're still carrying from the past, or some more dense energy. So the reason for that is that mass energetic cleansing is happening, and I want to talk a lot about this today. So firstly, master number 99 is a symbol of, listen to this, it's a symbol of universal love, care, and transformation from lack state to fulfillment. So first of all, this day is bringing us an alignment of energy, which is about to help us to transcend onto that next level of being, where we become more aligned with our souls, with all our bodies. And when we're talking about different bodies, we're talking about physical body, mental body, emotional body, soul, and the source itself. That great connection or alignment is helping us to embody our soul purpose, embody our mission, and become an expression of who we are truly meant to be. And when it comes to the energetic alignments as what we have today, it comes to a mass cleansing. It comes to a strong vibrational sensations we may all feel within on that intuitive level. So I'm giving you right now an intuitive update, because every time when we move through this kind of vibrational shifts, I in tune with my intuition. I go into meditation and I firstly ask myself, what is there for me to learn right now? What can I learn from this new energy? What can I apply in my life? And if there's something I could share with people today, because there's many beautiful souls present in this community, and I always receive something, so I want to share this with you. My friends, an energy of bliss is being broadcast to you right now. It's time to surrender your worries and any needs to control things. Sometimes we have this needs to control things. And it's time to surrender attachments to the past and open your heart to accept all of your incredible self as you are. So much love is about to manifest in your life. And I just want to remind you, as you already know, that love is the strongest emotion and it connects us directly to the source. So it reminds us that when we are in love with life, we are directly connected with the source. We are expressing the source. So when we are, for example, in love with somebody, when we share that loving connection with somebody, it's like we would be expressing life to one another. And that is a beautiful connection. That's why we love to connect with one another on that soul level. And for example, when we do something we love, it's like the life would be experiencing itself through us, through our physical bodies. And that's why we love to do what we love to do. So, my friends, it's time to embrace love for expression of your true self, your gifts and talents. That is the first step towards independence your soul is seeking to manifest in the physical form. And this is really, really powerful, because we are often talking about love and that great connection, but love can't actually exist without independence, right? Love can't be controlled. Love can't be blocked. It can't be chained to certain limitations, to certain boundaries. So it is seeking independence, it is seeking freedom. And when it comes to this understanding, it comes to the questions, what is still limiting me right now? And I want to encourage you right now to start setting some bigger questions to yourself. What are my limited boundaries right now of my limited beliefs? Or what are the boundaries that my fears are setting to me? Am I living in the box right now? And is there a way to step outside of the box and expand my perspective of my life? Because, you know, as so much is changing, the biggest changes that I think that are happening right now are the changes of perception of how we actually allow ourselves to perceive our lives. Because this is the paradigm shift. This is the biggest change that we are experiencing. Because, you know, as we are slowly letting go of the false stories of who we think we are slowly embracing who we truly are. And in other words, it actually means that we are just letting go of certain labels, which are just not an expression of love, which are just not an expression of our deepest potentials, deepest dreams and desires, you know, heartfelt desires. As we are slowly letting go of that, we are embodying more of who we are truly meant to be. But I always find that the biggest problem is always, you know, that self-taught limitations. And often it is that need to control things because the things are not the way we would like them to see. But of course, we only look on life often, most often, through that limited conscious mind, you know, through that limited perception. And then we think that we know what's good for us, when at the same time our higher self already knows what's best for us. So it's important to release that need to control things so the things can align for you. It's time to release the need to control things, my friends. So if we go further here, this is so powerful. If we remind ourselves that on a physical level, we are always a reflection of what we feel on conscious and subconscious level. Which means that when we are joyful, we will physically express joy. Everybody will notice that we are joyful. But when we are deeply worried or sad because of certain unconscious beliefs or stories, we'll as well express it on the surface, and people will see that something is bothering us, something is missing, something is wrong. And the energy we express is the energy we receive, at least 90% of the time. So let's look at this. 30% of your outcomes come from your actions. The next 30% comes from your emotions. And the next 30% comes from your thoughts. So we are left with 10%. What are the 10% that are affecting our life's experiences? And listen to this. The 10% of what is affecting our life's experiences, that's the source, which is communicating through you, bringing you some challenges and sometimes even painful experiences to wake you up from repetitive cycles to your greatest purpose and calling. So you see how powerful your thoughts, emotions, and actions are, and if they're out of alignment, you may be recreating the life you don't want to live. And when it comes to today's message and this powerful vibrational alignment, it comes to a great cleansing of everything that is not serving you anymore. But at the same time, we need to also remind ourselves of what is pulling us out of alignment, because, you know, life can be much more beautiful if we train ourselves to see that way. Because of course we've been trained to see our lives the way we've been trained them to see. Like we have certain programs like expectations, what to expect in life, how we should act, how we should behave, how we should think about ourselves, how we should think of others, why we are judging others so much, why we are comparing ourselves with others so much, right? So many meaningless things. And I want to remind you that this is truly an important time to release the stress and anxiety about not having control over things. Release the need to be driven by fears. This is so important. Another thing to release, to not being happy with how things are because they're not in your control. How often you find yourself in those lower emotional states when you think you can only be happy when you have control over things. That's a great way to block the miracles coming to you, because you always try to control the outcomes. But we are talking about surrendering, and I want to give you some practical steps to surrender your energy. How to surrender your energy. Well, firstly, we need to recognize what we are controlling in our lives, right? What we are trying to control in our lives. Why we are not in alignment. Why we not feel happy about ourselves. Why we are not in love with life. And of course, so often we fall into these unconscious patterns where we just start behaving automatically. So what is the greatest cure to become more conscious in our lives? Creativity. When we're creative, we are completely conscious. We are completely aware. That's why artists are conscious about what they are creating. They are making music and they fall in flow state. Also, when we are doing sports and we are expressing ourselves in different ways, we fall into that what is called flow state. In flow state, we are flowing, and when we are flowing, we forget about time, and suddenly space and an experience of space becomes much more different. It feels like we would be literally in space, and there are infinite possibilities, infinite opportunities, infinite potentials to do something, to do the best out of what we have right now. So we need to learn to fall into that flow state, and once we fall into the flow state, we fall in love with life, with the creation. And once we fall in love with the creation, we become a pure channel of the source. We actually embody the source still in your individual form, in your individual way, so you can express it in your unique individual way. And that is something truly beautiful, and that's what is leading you to independence. Another beautiful thing that happens once you embody that source energy is that your energy on that physical level becomes much stronger. And as your energy becomes much stronger, you will feel more alive, you will feel more connected with yourself, and you will feel more magnetic, like things are just finding you out of nowhere, constantly seeing synchronicities. It feels like sometimes you're experiencing those glitches of time, like time would just disappear because you're having so much fun in that physical experience. And you may be experiencing really vivid dreams, like mystical, meaningful dreams with messages where you're just receiving something you were wondering for such a long time. And that's something we shouldn't ignore, right? That's something which is actually, when we get in that conscious contact with a greater consciousness, which is kind of showing us the way. Like, this is the time to do this, my friends. This is the time to start or to initiate that project. This is the time to express your heart. Stop holding yourself back. There's so much beauty within you. There's so much of that wonderful creative power present within your heart, and it's time for you to open it so you can release that energy into the world and make it more colorful, make it brighter, make it more beautiful. So, my friends, however you feel today, let me know in the comments below what kind of energy you feel right now. Because it's always beautiful to see how much we are all connected. Even though, you know, some of us are dealing with certain challenges right now, some of us are living a beautiful life, some of us are reaching to our greatest potentials, and some of us are just meditating and chilling right now. You know, we are all in different states maybe right now, but we may feel the same energy, and that is something that is connecting us. You know, sometimes we may feel physically separated, but there's a sensation within our hearts which reminds us that we are all one and that we are all an extension of that source. So, my friends, it's important right now to become aware if there's certain tension. Also, on the September 9, the Mercury went into retrograde, and at that important cosmic event, something changes on that energetic level that we may often feel as a rise of internal tension, or sometimes it feels like there's more of that heavy energy present, or like certain problems may arise. But what is actually happening, usually we express our worries and what's bothering us externally, but during that event, like a reverse of that process happens, and everything we would usually express externally, unconsciously, we start to feel more intensely. And it's not a curse, it's not a bad thing, it's more like a reminder from the universe, hey, check up on yourself, how much of that heavy energy is still present within your body so you can release it. So it's important to take time with yourself, and if possible, be alone a little bit here and there. Take some time to be alone and in tune with yourself. Like, what is happening? Like, what is bothering you? What you need to do more of? What you're ignoring about yourself? What are certain, you know, heavy memories, painful memories, or traumas you're still carrying on? And it's about time to release it, right? See if there are certain lessons, if there's wisdom in those memories, if there's something you need to learn from there. And gain the lessons. You know, we hold the memories, so we will take time with them and see if there's something to learn from it, right? Beautiful memories are just beautiful memories to remember, to remind ourselves at hard times that we can have fun, that we can experience joy, and how beautiful actually joy feels like. But hard moments reminds us of what not to repeat, right? What not to do. Even when somebody hurt you in the past, it's a reminder how not to treat others. So you may be a victim of certain circumstances, and it is a reminder how not to treat others. But once you learn to overcome that pain, there's another lesson which can help you to teach others how to overcome pain. Because you're never alone in what you're dealing with. You need to always take that in your awareness that whatever you're dealing with, you're not alone. And sooner you will learn to overcome it, sooner you will be able to help somebody to overcome it as well. So that's why it is important to understand that we're never alone in whatever we're dealing with. When we have fun, we're never alone in that. We can share some fun with others, you know, we can share some of that joyful energy with others, and we love to do that. But when we're in the slower states, we tend to suppress it, right? So we would hide it from everybody else, so people would think like it's all okay, like we're always happy, but we're not. Nobody is always happy. All sensations are beautiful. All sensations, all emotions are teaching us something, and that is important to know. So always remember that all emotions you feel are actually coming from love, and sooner you will be able to embrace whatever you feel, sooner you will be able to move forward, and that's how release will happen. So in a practical way, you know, when we feel certain tension, or when we feel, especially right now as the energy of the earth is rising it may trigger some painful emotions or some painful memories from the past. It's important to ground ourselves into our bodies and to fully recognize in what part of my body I'm carrying that pain. In what area of my body there's that tension, because you can feel it. When you're stressed, you will feel that stress in a certain area of your body, and it requires a certain degree of self-awareness to firstly recognize that. But as I mentioned in the previous video, when we tap into that four-dimensional consciousness, we become aware of what is happening within us. We become aware of the patterns we are repeating in our lives, and we become slowly aware of the lessons those events are teaching to us. But the fifth dimensional consciousness, because everything right now is expanding into that fifth dimensional consciousness, we become architects of our lives. And an architect can decide, well, if this script of my life is not working, I can throw it away and design a new one. And that's what you can do right now with this powerful vibrational alignment of love. You can decide what is not serving you anymore. You can, acknowledge it. It's important to acknowledge it, because you can't let go of something you're not even aware of. So acknowledge what is not serving you anymore. Like what is bothering you, how you don't want to live your life anymore. What are the aspects of your life you just don't want to live like anymore? How it makes you feel, how you feel limited about it. You can write it down so it will be completely clear. And then just write a new story. Write a new story. That's where you start installing into your brain new patterns, new programs. Because even if you try to let go of something old, if you don't have a new story, if you don't have a new program, a new vision, how you want to live your life, your brain, your mind will automatically go to back to what's the most familiar to you, and that's your old story. So once you acknowledge what is not serving you anymore, if you have it in front of you on a piece of paper, it's much easier to get clarity, like what's there I need to learn, and then write a new story and repeat that process. Everything it will become hard. Repeat that process until that new story becomes your new belief. Once that new story will become your new belief, you will start living as you're walking towards it. You will start practicing, right? You will start practicing who you want to be until you will become that version of yourself. And then awaken some light in your body so it can cleanse you from all that toxicity, all that heaviness. And that's how surrender will happen. So if you want to use this present energy, awaken some light in your body and let go of what is not in alignment with you anymore. Remember, you need to get clear on what is not serving you anymore. You need to identify it so you can intentionally release it from your body, and then acknowledge that new story, that new vision for the future, and grab it, fully embody it, and see what can you do in your life, because firstly there's a thought, an intention, a belief. Then there's an emotional sensation which will happen automatically if as you start thinking about that new story, thinking about those new outcomes in your life, you will feel it emotionally. So once your thoughts and emotions are aligned with that new reality, new potential reality, what is required from you is to take action towards it. And that's what will create a powerful vibrational shift in your life, and that's where you will start walking towards a future version of yourself which already exists in that potential reality. So my friends, this is it, a step, an important step to become an alchemist of your life. So have a beautiful day. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings and power. Today I'm sharing with you a painting Transcendence, which is deeply connected with today's message. So I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting, and to everyone who would love to support my art, you can find it on my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. See you there, my friends. And to everyone who needs some daily reminders, go and check out my Instagram page, AttractPassion, and my other Instagram page, I Draw My Passion, where you can find my art gallery. And until next time, enjoy today's energy, prepare for tomorrow's full moon, another powerful energy. I will make another video, but you can also find it on my channel about what's happening with that full moon. So go and check it out. Till next time, one love.